Hey Tenno, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll show you two Excalibur Umbra builds that are budget and casual friendly for Steel Path. One build will focus on using Excalibur's ability Slash Dash, and another focusing on his Exalted Blade. As promised, these builds will not be using arcanes, subsumed abilities, archon shards, primed mods, or even fully ranked mods. Of course, they can be optimized further, but in their current iterations they will work in Steel Path. As usual, timestamps down below. Let's start with the Slash Dash build. Before going into the build, let's talk about some of the quirks Slash Dash has. Firstly, when Slash Dash is used, Excalibur cannot receive damage to his health, but can receive damage to his shields. This means when this skill is active, he is invulnerable, but we cannot reliably use shield gatings to survive when the shield is inactive. Secondly, Slash Dash does more damage the higher the melee combo count is. At 12x combo, Slash Dash has a 3.75x multiplier, so the higher the combo, the better the damage. Thirdly, Slash Dash needs a stat stick. Without going into it too much, a stat stick is a melee weapon that will carry mods that can benefit an ability but would not be used as a weapon. Slash Dash benefits from pure damage mods, elemental mods, but not faction mods, so the equipped weapon needs to have these damage mods. Fourthly, Slash Dash is affected by range. Higher range means there is more targets to Slash Dash and keep you in an invincible state longer. Lastly, Slash Dash is janky and random in general, so you might get caught out unexpectedly. We need to keep that in mind and have something to protect us if it acts weird. Now that we got that out of the way, let's move on to our first build. Now look, this build doesn't even have max rank mods, but it will survive Steel Path. Since we are using Umbra, we have all three Umbra mods giving strength, health and armor. We need to build for range, as higher range means more attacks, so we have Stretch and Cunning Drift for range, Transient Fortitude for strength, and we are using Duration as a dump stat. An augment mod that we will be using is Surging Dash. This augment builds combo for every enemy strike during Slash Dash, so we can quickly build up to 12x combo to deal extra damage. We have Rolling Guard, a mod that can be obtained from arbitrations. Rolling Guard provides you with invulnerability when you roll for a short period of time. There is a cooldown before you can activate the period of invulnerability again. We round up the build with Equilibrium for energy generation. Equilibrium gives you energy from health orbs and health from energy orbs, so we can keep our energy topped up from the health orbs that enemies drop after we kill them. Now, let's look at the melee weapon. There are more powerful melee weapons to use as a stat stick, such as the Incarnate weapons, but for this example we will be using the Skana. We will stack as much damage mods as we can. Start with Pressure Point and Spoil Strike for pure damage. Bright Purity is a mod only for Skana that gives an extra 100% damage. Jagged Edge for extra slash. We will go for Viral Heat, so mix cold with toxin, and one heat mod. Rad mods such as Focus Radon are obtained from the enemies in the Whisper in the Wall update. Additional elements such as Radiation will be good to increase your Slash Dash damage. How does this build play? Well, simple. Go into Slash Dash, and Excalibur will start dashing on his own. Roll out of Slash Dash, and you're protected with Rolling Guard. Use this time to reposition or collect pickups, and go back to Slash Dashing. That is pretty much all you need to do. Now there is some flexibility for the build. Here are some variations depending on your style. For the first iteration, Rolling Guard is here mainly for safety in case of being out of position. If your timings are good, you may not need Rolling Guard and you can replace it with an augment, Furious Javelin. This is an augment mod that greatly boosts your damage. When Radial Javelin is used, every enemy hit will give an additional melee damage boost to Slash Dash. For the second iteration of this build, we replace Equilibrium with Energy Nexus. Energy Nexus is a mod obtained from enemies in the Whispers in the Wall update. Energy Nexus gives a steady stream of 3 energy per second and would give energy even while Slash Dashing. This means a more consistent energy source opposed to Equilibrium. So, Equilibrium can bring large spikes of energy, Energy Nexus is more consistent. Really depends on your preference. what kind of companions will work well. We will be using our companion mainly for energy generation, using synth mods. Synth Deconstruct causes enemies attacked by the companion to more likely drop health orbs that you can pick up with Equilibrium. Synth Fiber allows you to pick up health orbs even when your health is full, so you can replenish the energy. My preferred companion is a Panzer Vol Papaya. It is a companion obtained from Deimos. If you use its two mods, Viral Kills and Panzer Devolution, it can keep doing damage even when dead, so it can constantly proc the synth mod to increase health orbs drop rate. You do not have to use a Panzer. Any robotic companion with two synth mods and a Hellstrom modded for gas can proc the synth mods too. Remember, gas is made by combining toxin and heat. Here are some tips with this build. Try to run Unairu as your focus school. Slash dash can be janky and you can get stuck on stairs, ledges, etc. and die if you come out of slash dash in a weird place. With Unairu, at least you have last gasp in case of accidents, or if you had a misplay or mistiming. Slash dash gives you invulnerability and mobility too, not just damage. If you need to get out of dodge quickly, you can use it and not be worried about being shot down. Now the exact weapon used as a stat stick, the Skana in this example, does not matter too much until you have access to more endgame Incarnon weapons, but certain weapons characteristics can work with slash dash. The Zoris, a glaive you get from the quest Deadlock Protocol, has unlimited combo meter, meaning your combo will not decay. Used with this build means you do not need to worry about losing your 12x combo once you reach it. This is a casual, budget-friendly build of Zoris. Load up damage mods and keep it holstered. Your combo will hold indefinitely and have 12x multiplier all the time. Now, how can we improve the build? The most noticeable upgrade to your build will be gaining access to melee Incarnon weapons, namely the Magistra Incarnon. Slash dash on its own cannot crit, but the Incarnon perks affect slash dash and increases its crit chance. Essentially, it can start to crit when it's equipped and the damage is noticeably higher. Here is an example of a Magistra build. Incarnon weapons are obtained from Steel Path circuit, so that is by no means a budget-friendly choice, but a Magistra Incarnon would greatly improve your build. If you're thinking of arcanes, Mod Augmented will give you additional ability strength. Arcane Fury increases your damage with critical hits, so it would only work with an Incarnon weapon equipped. I have a preference for spamming abilities, and extra energy through Arcane Energize is good. If you have access to Helminth, Roar is a good ability to subsume. Roar increases the slash damage procs from slash dash, at times doubling your damage. Now, let's look at Exalted Blade Excalibur. First thing we need to know about Exalted Blade is that it is a channeled ability. That means certain sources of energy such as Generic, Energy Nexus are not available when Exalted Blade is active. Second, Exalted Blade is unaffected by melee combo multipliers, so even at 12x combo, it does not crit for additional damage. Thirdly, Exalted Blade works with the Augment Chromatic Blade. When equipped with this mod, Exalted Blade's usual impact, puncture, slash damage is changed to a damage type based on your Warframe's energy color. You can change this in the appearance section. In our builds, we'll be running Viral Heat, so the Excalibur's energy will be red. Time for the build. It is a similar triple Umbra setup, but let's give a quick explanation on how we can survive. We are using a health tank setup. We have Vitality and Fiber, giving a large health pool and armor. Armor provides damage reduction, but only up to a point, so we added the mod Adaptation. Adaptation, like its name suggests, increases the damage resistance of your frame for that specific damage type, and it goes all the way to 90%. While high, it means that enemies can still damage you through the remaining 10%. So we need high armor to reduce the incoming damage and high health to absorb damage for adaptation to work. We added Carne's Carapace, a mod that gives both armor and health for health tanking. For energy, we have Hunter Adrenaline. Hunter Adrenaline converts a portion of damage to health to energy. Even better, Hunter Adrenaline gives energy even with channeled abilities. Since we are still receiving damage despite adaptation and our armor, with Hunter Adrenaline, we would have almost unlimited energy. We have Power Drift in our Exiler slot for slightly more strength. If you do not have this mod, it's fine too. We have both augments, Furious Javelin and Chromatic Blade for the damage boost. Furious Javelin is an augment mod that greatly boosts your damage. When Radial Javelin is used, every enemy hit would give an additional melee damage boost to Exalted Blade. Chromatic Blade changes the usual impact, puncture, slash damage to a damage type based on your Warframe's energy color, so we will be running Heat. Since we are focusing on Exalted Blade, let's take a look at Exalted Blade's build. There are two builds with only small differences. We have two Umbra mods, Berserker Fury for attack speed. We are going viral, so mix Toxin and Cold. We are using 60-60 mods, meaning it gives 60% elemental damage and 60% status chance. Reach for extra range to our melee attacks, and Organ Shatter for more crit damage. The last mod is Healing Return. This is an important mod because it heals Excalibur back. He takes damage from enemies and needs a way to heal back. Healing Return heals Excalibur after attacking enemies with status procs. Each enemy is counted independently, so hitting a large group of enemies can give significant healing. The second build is almost similar. Instead of a 60-60 mod for cold, we have a 90 mod, meaning it gives 90% elemental damage. We also have slightly more reach. The biggest difference here is Life Strike. Life Strike also heals Excalibur, but it heals a percentage of damage done from heavy attacks. Exalted Blade's heavy attacks are slow. You need to jump and slam attack every time you need to heal. That's the difference. Healing Return costs more capacity, but Life Strike needs you to use slam attacks more. Both are equally good. It depends on the resources you want to invest and your playstyle. In terms of our companion, we can use the Panzer Volpapaya. When the mod Hunter Recovery is used, every damage done by the companion is healed to your frame. If you use its two mods, Viral Kills and Panzer Devolution, you can keep doing damage even when dead and still heal you. You do not need this for this build, but it does give you a higher margin for error in case you did not realize your health is dangerously low. There is some flexibility for the build. If you want a more comfortable health tank, you can replace Furious Javelin with Armored Agility or Gladiator Aegis for more armor and less DPS. Now, how can we improve the build? If you have arcanes, Arcane Fury and Arcane Reaper would be a good complement. Reaper gives you armor and healing, so that Carnage Carapace can be switched for an ability strength mod for more damage. Arcane Fury increases your damage with critical hits, so that gives you more DPS. Bolt Augmented gives extra ability strength and is helpful for boosting Furious Javelin's damage buff. With Hunter Adrenaline, you will have close to unlimited energy, so Arcane Energize would not be too helpful for this build. Fun subsumed for this build would be Culliver's Raffle Advance. Raffle Advance teleports you to an enemy, performs a heavy attack and gives additional crit chance. This turns Excalibur into a red crit god, and his heavy attack heals Excalibur too. Great subsume if you're looking into more DPS and a fun build. If survivability is more of an issue, look into Gloom. Gloom comes from Sevagoth, and it provides Excalibur with a lifesteal, but it also slows down all surrounding enemies. Even with base Excal here, Gloom stops the enemies in their tracks and gives good survivability. So there you have it, two Excalibur builds ready for Steel Path that are casual, budget friendly, and tips on how you can progress these builds. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Share this video to anyone you think might enjoy this. Like and subscribe for more Warframe guides like this. Bye!